Thanks, Ned. And it's... Oh, sorry, I just elbowed the microphone. That's the thrill of live radio, I suppose. Which reminds me of... Sorry about that, just my little radiophonic bon mot. No, really, I am live. I'm not on tape now, because my piece this morning is so very topical that... Oh, this is ridiculous. You can take a joke too far. For was it not Mr. Martin Fisher, the doyen of light entertainment?
Silence in court. Silence. The case of Benjamin Disraeli versus Whippet. Place your paw on this bonio and swear...
It has been a litigious week, chez Tribley. My Whippet was hauled up before a beak at the canine division of the juvenile courts.
Bunnies will and can go to Paris.
Having been caught in flagrante delicto with a millstone grit effigy of Benjamin Disraeli. The charge, statutory rape.
The BBC regrets the possibility that certain feminist ladies may have found the previous remarks distasteful. The BBC Light Entertainment Department inform us that it was intended as an example of comedy. Do you remember comedy, ladies? It was fashionable in the 1960s before you all grew beards. Yes, it's impossible to rape a statue of Benjamin Disraeli, though I once had a damn good attempt at Stanley Baldwin. But unfortunately, I tore my... Back in the flat. The Whippet's on probation and back.
I'm sorry, I've got a bad dose of the steel ice bands. I'll just get it off my chest.
Oh, bye-bye, Mrs. Tribley. I hope they sort out your, women's trouble.
Back in the flat, the Whippet's on probation and under my care while Mrs. Tribley goes into the Arthur Mullard Gynaecological Clinic to have everything removed because she's got women's trouble.
All that out. Everything will go. Wiggly bits.
Ever since the court case, Mrs. Tribley has been getting the hot flushes, and I've arranged for her to have a hysterectomy on a diner's card. And our next-door neighbour, Dr. Leventre, is a retired one-fingered gynaecologist who does the odd women's trouble op on the cheap, just to keep his hand in. You may be wondering why I keep saying women's trouble in hushed tones. Let me explain in euphemistic terms.
Best gone.
It is a well-known fact that I am pathologically obsessed by grown-up words such as plops, bums, wheeze, big chops, doings, willies, and in general any lexicological association with matters originating all points south of ladies' belly buttons. This is because, as a working-class youth, I was subjected to endless tea times of fish paste sandwiches, Battenberg cake, and whispered conversations.
Another piece of Battenberg.
Oh, lovely. It's very Moorish.
Anyway, you know, have you heard about her at number 32? She got took away.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Really?
she has. Yeah, she's gone in for...
What's that?
Women's trouble.
Oh! What's women's trouble, Mummy?
Oh, never you mind. You'll understand when you're older.
That's right.
Looks a lordy.
As a male cub, the hushed words, women's trouble, made my ears salivate. To this day, I'm still waiting for a lady to tell me what women's trouble means.
Just slip on this negligee.
Back in the flat.
Lovely.
With Mrs. Tribley away, I plan a Cleveland sort of a weekend with my Whippet. Know what I mean, guys? For a romantic opener, we reenact scenes from Barefoot in the Park. I replace the Whippet's legs with old pram wheels, the Traylon suite becomes Central Park, the Whippet is Jane Fonda to my Robert Redford.
Just like Jane Fonda. You look just like Jane Fonda. It's now or never.
It's going well.
Come hold me tight.
Couple of pints of beer.
Kiss me, my doggy.
Clean underpants.
Be mine tonight.
This is romance.
Tomorrow will be the end.
Essence of aniseed behind my ear.
My doggy.
My body smeared with marrowbone jelly.
Doggy friend.
I edge closer on the sofa, Whippet's paw nestling in my hand.
Come hold me retired.
This is the Director General's Secretariat here. The next 40 seconds of audio tape are being removed. And transported under armed guard to room 101. We're only right thinking self-appointed guardians of public morality will have access. Listen to it at least 100 times. And then decide that other people would be corrupted and depraved if they heard it. Thank you. I light up a Craven A and decide to improve our minds with an evening of television.
The 6 o'clock news from the BBC. Good evening. Here is the news. A very senior member of the royal family has gone into hospital for women's trouble.
Oh, dear.
To have everything removed.
Oh dear, that'll be the wiggly bits, will it?
Yes, wiggly bits.
And doings down the front.
That's right, and the tubes.
Tubes, yes, and the cuddly toy. But what is women's trouble?
Never you mind. Never mind. Just wait until you're older.
Bugger you then. I'll turn over to the late night horror.
Do turn over.
I will.
Let us take you beyond the realms of imagination. To a place trapped in the 1920s where vacant souls wander along endless corridors, where men and women are turned into zombies. A place without purpose, meaning, or dignity. Let Jukey and Mikey show you their Twilight Home.
Oh, it's a documentary about Broadcasting House.
Producer here you see is a complete zombie.
Oh, look, those producers.
There he is.
Oh, they're like zombies.
Brain,
Oh, they're like zombies. It's getting late. I lie moody and alone on a chaise longue watching videos a la Bette Davis of the golden days of my 1960s film career when I appeared in various guises on all the great TV shows.
They call him Flipper.
That's me. That's me. Not many people know this, but in the episode where Flipper becomes governor of Alabama, I played the third plankton from the left. It was a living. Here I am. Look, there you are. I'll wind it on. And wearing a striped blazer and taking advantage of my spinal deformity, who can forget my role as the arched canopy over 77 Sunset Strip? Good, I'll wind it on. And who can forget how I once stepped for Mary Tyler Moore? Sometimes I still think I have a bit of the Dick Van Dyke in me. How the mighty have fallen, how my career has plummeted. Let me explain in bathyspheric terms. Working on loose ends is a degrading experience. It's the media equivalent of being discovered on a bomb site holding a quart of Gilbey's in one hand and a bottle of Ribena in the other. It is almost too degrading to appear, even on tape, on a programme whose criteria of excellence tolerate silly, vacuous, simpering, whimsical, snorting upper-middle-class Islington women, an assortment of pig-ignorant, poncy, imbecilic, Liverpudlian and Cockney ratfinks, and worst of all, fat, foul-mouthed ex-producers from Dagenham who come onto the wireless and interfere with their pets. But I must rest now, nurse. My usual hock and seltzer and a very, very long tape wind, please. It's 3 a.m. and still tuning listlessly around. It's 3 a.m. and still tuning listlessly around the television. I discover that this week ITV have launched the longest ever British charity telethon. In sense, I decide to stage my own version. Lewis Smith Productions bring you the Tribley telethon. All over the country there are millions of people who are sick. Quite rightly, sick and tired of being asked to fork out money for endless bleeding charities every time they switch on the television. Help now, skinflints in need. Here is one skinflint who asked to be filmed in silhouette, but our lighting engineer is a sadist and kept just enough lights on so that the victim's family and friends will be able to work out who he is. Here is a skinflint in need.
And action. So, when did you first realise you had a problem?
Well, I don't know. It just crept up on me. At first, I just thought, I don't feel like giving today, but soon it got to be every day. You know, I've only got to hear the names Wogan, Ranson, Lumley, Geldof. Look at me, I'm in a sweat now.
Oh, relax. If you can manage some tears, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, well, I mean, what's worse is I keep having these horrible thoughts about the presenters. I'm ashamed of myself, but I can't help it. I keep thinking they're up there in front of the cameras just so that they can wallow in reflected glory. And worst of all, just when I'm about to put my hand in my pocket, I remember they're all on 300,000 a year contracts and I'm on the bleeding dole. I don't give a toss about children or OAPs or starvation or women with women's trouble. I mean, when I was a kid, we had someone collecting for the polio. My dad must have paid hundreds, but he never got it.
Talking of tight-fisted, back to the only man in broadcasting with padlocks on his dustbin and lavatory paper hanging up to dry on the washing line, Neddy.